That's a mistake. A very obvious one. People need to care. Hey readers, writers, and story lovers, my name is Hannah. I publish as HS Paisley, and today I'm gonna really quickly talk about the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk. Okay, so I was not super optimistic when I first saw the trailer of She-Hulk. It just looked really campy and really, like, nobody cared. I've watched the first 2 episodes now, and like, guys, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's not as bad as everybody is saying it is. I didn't watch it because everybody was saying it was garbage, and I wasn't, like I said, super hyped about it. Weirdly, I also haven't watched any of Ms. Marvel yet, even though I've read the comics for Ms. Marvel, but I just feel like there's such an oversaturation, and that Ms. Marvel and She-Hulk are getting like the worst reviews of all the Marvel things and like the lowest viewership, to me isn't necessarily that they are starring women. It's that they are starring women in a time when there is such an oversaturation. Like if there was no Marvel stuff and then they were gonna do She-Hulk or a Black Widow or Ms. Marvel, I just feel like all the best writers would want to be on it. All the best, everybody would want to be a part of it because we would be starved for a superhero something. And not to say that the best writers aren't there or whatever it is, but like it's no secret that the CGI isn't phenomenal in She-Hulk, and I mean, it definitely has a tone, which I enjoy, but I can also see why some people wouldn't enjoy that. I think the biggest reason why I enjoyed these 2 episodes is because I'm not trying to take it too seriously. So let's talk about them. This is a spoiler video. Spoiler video for episodes 1 and 2. I'm talking about everything. I made some notes. I think I actually need to watch more of the show to really understand whether or not I like episode 1, because there were themes I really enjoyed and parts of it that I really enjoyed, but overall I think it was kind of unnecessary. One thing with writing that I always say, my number 1 writing tip is cut your first 3 chapters. My number 2 writing tip is don't give any backstory in the first 3 chapters. And the first episode of this show was all backstory, and I don't think it needed to be. I think that it should have been moving forwards, but then that's what I thought at the end of episode 1. Episode 2 starts, and I see that she needs to be fired for the rest of the show to take place for her to get hired by this place. And I guess what I really disliked about it was the setup. I didn't like that we started in her office and flash back for the entire episode. We could have started with her being fired. You just hulked out, we didn't see any of that, and you just got fired. And then she turns to the camera and starts talking to us, you know, and we don't really need to be caught up. We don't need to be caught up at all. We know her story because we know every superhero story because they're all the same. I think this is getting a lot of slack, but I did like that she was just generally better at controlling her Hulk side than Bruce was, especially because it seemed like this show is trying to connect the control of the Hulk to emotional intelligence. And the reality of the situation is women are socialized to have higher emotional intelligence than men. More is expected of us in those ways, and we have to be more controlled in emotional ways. So I think that if that is a contributing factor to how you can control the Hulk, that makes a lot of sense to me. That said, I do think, like, we do see her lose it and freak out twice. Once when she first turns, and then again when the guys at the bar hit on her. I think we should have seen it a 3rd time where she's learning that her life is falling apart and nothing's ever going to be the same, and that Bruce can kind of talk her down, and then she actually gets talked down and he can be like, whoa, like I didn't expect that to work so well. How did you do that? As opposed to her being able to do everything on her own, because I do think experience is a lot as well. Even if they don't share the same life experience, he does have more Hulk experience and he would know some of settling his mind. I felt like the entire training montage was a little... It didn't need to be there. That could have been so much shorter. I also think she should have taken off her jacket in the courtroom before she hulked out. She even says, I like this suit. She should have taken off the jacket, taken off her shoes, hulked out, done her thing, shrunk back down. The friend like puts down the shoes, puts on her jacket. I don't know why she didn't take off her jacket. That was weird. Other than that, episode 1, like, I'm not sure how I feel about breaking the 4th wall. I don't love it right now. I did think the post-credit scene was really funny and cute, and I really liked seeing that. And I watched episode 2, and I wouldn't have if episode 1 gave me nothing. So for episode 2, like I said, I kind of appreciated, I guess, a bit more of what the story was trying to do once I saw a bit more of where it's going, which is why I don't think I'll be able to really give a full opinion until I see the full season. I do think it was absolutely hilarious that when she turned from She-Hulk back into Jen, that she was super drunk because their metabolism's different. I love that. I also really like that the opening like credit thing, She-Hulk attorney at law, changed into attorney for hire. That was fun. And the family dinner killed me. Like, I just think if you go into this not expecting the world, being okay with some bad CGI and just trying to forget about life for a while.
Forget about life for a while.
You're gonna enjoy this show. It's funny. I also love that she has curly hair in this show. I don't think she needs to be more She-Hulk hair. But there was this moment where she finishes her beer twice, and I'm like, man, can we get an editor that cares? Like, how did nobody catch this? She just finished her beer twice. That's a mistake. A very obvious one. People need to care. And then when Tim Roth is introduced, Emil Blonsky, I mean, I got questions, I guess. Or it just makes other things not make sense, which never made sense to me. I confess, the Edward Norton Hulk is one of my favorite Marvel movies. I love it so much, or one of my favorite MCU movies. But it kind of felt like when Mark Ruffalo became the Hulk, that movie almost didn't exist in the same way, because at the end of that movie, Bruce could control the Hulk, but then when we see him again afterwards, he can't. So that never really rationalized for me. I do like that we saw it's the cage fighting Wong Shang-Chi scene, right? That we see at the end of the episode, and when she breaks the fourth wall, looks into the camera and says whatever her line is, like, well, this isn't good or whatever. Like, it's funny, it's cute. I like a lot of fourth wall breaking stuff, but I don't need it, and I don't know if this show needs it. I mean, again, it's cute that they did I'm a completely different person line to that it was Edward Norton and now it's Mark Ruffalo, but it's fun. Everybody who's complaining about it is too sour. Get over yourselves. Like, it's just fun. It's a comic book show. Oi, oi. Why are we all expecting an Oscar here? Where is my water? Okay, that's all I got. Have you seen the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk? I will be watching the 3rd. I may or may not post a short review of it. Let me know what you guys think of the first 2 episodes of She-Hulk. I'm actually kind of excited to watch the next one. I really like the idea of this character, and I'm into it. I also really love just like fun, light, fluffy TV shows. So this is great for me. Anyways, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy, taking care of yourselves and each other. That is always easier when you're hydrated, so go get some water because you're probably dehydrated.